Shalom, this is Mitch Glaser, President, Chosen People Ministries. Again, coming to you to talk to you about praying for the Jewish people, for Israel, and for the salvation of my Jewish people. I'm a Messianic Jew as well. And I'm so glad that you've been praying for us. And I guess I can't thank you enough for praying for us, for loving us, for supporting us, and for standing with us during this COVID-19 pandemic. I know that we're trying to move to the other side of it, but we're moving cautiously, as you would imagine. I'd like you to pray that God would give us wisdom. And we're also having a number of meetings about talking about some of the strategies and methods we've learned on how to communicate to Jewish people during the pandemic, using Zoom and using other kinds of online opportunities, and it's been fabulous. We've had lots of Bible studies. We've had people come to faith through virtual services, and in a million years, I never would have told you that this could happen, but it is happening. So I want to talk to you about two quick things. Number one, I want to talk to you just quickly about the history and the present of our ministry. We'll leave the future for a moment. But again, Chosen People Ministries began in 1894 when a Hungarian rabbi, Leopold Kohn, moved to the Lower East Side of Manhattan, and he heard a Polish Presbyterian missionary to the Jewish people preaching the gospel, ready, at a Dutch Reformed church on the Lower East Side. Happens all the time, I'm sure. So Rabbi Cohen came to faith and then went off to Scotland to study theology because the guy who led him to the Lord was a Presbyterian. And then he came back to Brookline. It was spelled in a very Dutch way. It was a little Dutch settlement. They all settled in Brooklyn in order to reach the Jewish people in Brooklyn. And there were probably less than 100,000 Jewish people in Brooklyn at that time. And the ministry grew, and Leopold Kohn reached out in very practical ways, teaching Jewish immigrants how to use sewing machines, very advanced machines he imported from Germany. He had a medical dispensary, he gave food, and of course he had Bible studies, Sabbath services, and holiday services. And they say that in the facility that eventually Leopold Kohn purchased in Williamsburg, Brooklyn, that there were over 1,000 Jewish people baptized in that center. And so it was an extraordinarily fruitful ministry. Now Chosen People Ministries is in 20 countries. We keep growing. We just added Taiwan, where there's a group that's caring for Israeli backpackers and ministering to dozens upon dozens of these precious people. And so we have a great ministry here. We have our Charles Feinberg Center in the middle of Orthodox Jewish Brooklyn. We have the Feinberg Program, which is a Master of Divinity partnership with Biola University and Talbot School of Theology, and we're able to train Jews and Gentiles for a lifelong ministry among the Jewish people, 3-year degree, full Master of Divinity program. And we also have a congregation in Brooklyn, and really a lovely facility, and lots of staff in Brooklyn reaching Jewish people. And of course, our headquarters is still in Manhattan, but I'm talking to you from Brooklyn, so I wanted to give you the inside scoop on Brooklyn. We probably have more Hasidic and Orthodox Jewish people in almost any concentrated area in the world. And so we not only have one ultra-Orthodox area, we have about a half a dozen. And so there's lots to do here, a lot of secular Jewish people also. We're encouraged. I think we're on our way out of this pandemic. We're going to be very careful. We don't want reinfection. We've got most of our staff working outside the office, and soon they'll be coming back in. At least some of them, but we're going to be very cautious, and we're going to serve the Lord with being good stewards over ourselves and over one another, because we are indeed our brothers and sisters keepers. And so thanks for your prayers, and we just really need your prayers for what God is doing in Brooklyn. We are looking forward to going from prison to freedom, from darkness to light. We started in Passover, and it looks like we're moving on our way out on the Feast of Pentecost. So remember to pray for our number one priority, not only living for the Lord, but sharing the gospel to the Jew first and also to the Gentile in Brooklyn, all over New York City, across the United States, in Israel, and many, many other countries. We want to conform to what the Lord said through the Apostle Paul, Rabbi Saul, for I'm not ashamed of the gospel. It is the power of God for salvation to all who believe, every single person, from any ethnic group, any religion. The gospel is the power, the dynamite of God, but it's to the Jew first and also to the Gentile. And so pray that we will really be able to be used by God in reaching the Jewish people. And we know that if God is using us to reach Jewish people, we'll be reaching Gentiles also. Thanks again for your prayers. God bless you. Shalom.